So one of the most common issues I see on deadlifts is squatting them, or just not finding the right hip height in general. Basically, people try to set their hips far too low, usually trying to copy great deadlifters like you see in this video. What they don't realize is these people are great deadlifters in part because they have great leverage and can pull from these low hip positions. For a lot of people, they can't. That's why the bar doesn't break the floor until their hips rise like you'll see in this next clip. That is when you're finally in a strong enough position to produce enough force to break the floor. So I'm going to go over how you can avoid this in 3 key points. So the first point is finding that hip height you are at when the bar breaks the floor. A way to work this is a slow eccentric. I use this as a warm-up drill, a somewhat challenging weight, around 60 to 70% of your max. As you can see from this video, my max is around 100 kilos. Do a slow eccentric and you'll end up in the right position. You can try to emulate that position on your working sets afterwards. On your working sets, try to avoid doing touch and go like this as well. In fact, it's good to let yourself go loose and even reset your position so you can practice finding this position and building tension, which I'll talk more about later, with every single rep. Second issue, a lot of people just don't know how to hinge, that is flex at their hips. They literally squat down to the bar to get to it, which leads to too low of a hip position as there's too much knee flexion. You can see here how my hips have to shoot up to the proper position. A proper deadlift should be part squat, part hinge. It's why I commonly program stiff-legged or Romanian deadlifts. It's a good way to practice this bending at the hips. You want to avoid rounding the back or bending the knees beyond the minimal amount here. Not that these are inherently bad movements for a body to do. We want some of them on our full deadlift, but we're trying to practice the hinge here. A cue I like to use is to imagine we have a door behind us that we are trying to close. Now step 3 is learning to build tension while lowering into position. Here's another old clip of mine. Note the dramatic change in torso and hip position when I actually start to pull. This is because I try going from 0 to 100. I don't build any tension at all while I'm lowering myself into position. No tension means you're just going to jerk yourself out of said position when you start to pull. So how do we fix this? First, think of a stiff-legged deadlift-like motion to build tension with our posterior chain. As we lower hips into position, push more and more with our quads, using the weight of the bar to counteract this force in our legs. Once you're in proper position, you will really feel the tightness and stretch in your muscles. You should see the bar bend as we lower our hips into position. You can try this technique in warm-ups, and the bar should even pop off the floor at lower weights. You can see what that looks like here. So that's basically it. Don't try to deadlift with super low hips. Find your most efficient hip height with the tricks I talked about, then learn to hinge down, and finally apply force as you lower yourself into position, but not too much force. Only a SIF deals in absolutes. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful for your deadlift. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, thanks for watching.